Welcome to the Nintendo Ninja News Show. It's another week, another time to unwind from the news making, which that could happen again, later on in the night if anything happens interesting. And I guess for me, this week I've been focusing on a few different things. You may have seen some changes on the YouTube page. We've added the guest spot and the reviews and gameplay zone, which are just two new segments that we're doing every now and again, and that's to build up for other things that I'm trying to plan to do, which is a little bit difficult. And it has been a very interesting time for Nintendo Ninja News as we're trying to push through some challenges and that. I'm working on getting a video camera to take around with me, and we have been given a media pass to GammaCon, which is very, very cool, which is a convention here in Canberra. But that's all I'll be talking about on that point, because I'll make another video talking about more of that in advance. So there's been some interesting news on that point. And I'm feeling better from the cold and that, which has been all right. I'm still sipping drinks and things like that. And hopefully to get back to doing different videos and things like that and seeing how that goes. And this month has been a little bit up and down with views and that we've been getting quite a few new subscribers, which is great. So one day we'll get to 200 subscribers, and that will be nice. But I guess things have been going pretty well, I guess. Still waiting news on the new console, if that ever is going to be revealed. And Metroid Prime Federation Force was released to mixed reviews and that. So not really a lot of big exciting stuff happening for Nintendo. And I think this is going to be the lean point. There's going to be some very heavy lean points from here to March next year with the Codename NX console coming out. So the topic of the day we were talking about is how much Nintendo merchandise is too much. Now, obviously, I got a fair bit of stuff behind me, and I bought some of it because I enjoyed some of it, and some of it for basically background information, background decoration and things like that. And I noticed there's quite a few people, especially Nintendo fans for some reason, that love to collect things. They just need to get and buy everything, Pokemon trading cards, amiibos, things like that. And I think Nintendo very much knows that and understands it, and that's how they make a fair bit of money, is by collecting them all. Who knows, maybe because we all grew up on Pokemon, or it's something in the nature of gamers to collect everything, plushies and different consoles that people get multiple ones like I have, or amiibos. There's over 100 of them now, and there are some people who have bought over 100 of them, and on average that would be 17 times 10. Yeah, it would be nearly $1,800 to $2,000 to pay for all those amiibos, and that's not including the amiibo cards, which would probably take you close to $3,000 worth in terms of all that stuff. Or you like to get bundles that cost a little more. So, and this is sort of the interesting thing that I see with Nintendo collectors and things like that. This sort of almost semi-obsession of trying to buy everything. And I've kind of gone down quite a lot in the collecting stuff, because I spent, I guess last year and the beginning of this year, building all this up and that. And I'm basically going to self-contain all the Nintendo stuff behind me and not really get that much more. And if I get things like, I'm not interested in any more plushies, maybe a couple amiibos here and there, but they've got to be like really iconic characters now. And things like physical games, I will just put them somewhere in the corner and stuff like that. And it does become a little more difficult to do things like that. Now, I am going to be getting into some Pokemon card collecting and things like that, just to experiment and see how that goes in terms of what the people want and what the channel might feel like to see. And that's something interesting that but we'll do. But, you know, even people overseas, I see them buying boxes of cards that are 200, 250, and people buying all the, I think, for example, the Animal Crossing amiibo cards, like they're fairly useless in terms of the things that they did until they released a patch or an update for Animal Crossing New Leaf, where you can actually now have some sort of value to those cards. And I think that's the thing about it, because those Animal Crossing amiibos were essentially only made because there was a game coming out, and some people at Nintendo wanted Animal Crossing amiibos, and they said, well, look, you've got to have a game to go with it. And they pretty much made like a really sort of lower quality Mario Party type game to go with it. and of course Nintendo fans bought it in droves. You know, Happy Home Designer sold a couple million copies because of that. So, and that's that's part of the problem too, is that I feel if Nintendo attaches shoddy games with amiibo bundles, and people will just buy it, you know, because they have to collect all the different pieces. They've got to get the gold Mario, they've got to get the silver one, they've got to get the 8-bit one, and all that sort of thing. So I think Nintendo definitely knows how to play into it. And I'm just curious to see, is there a limit to people's budgets? Because I've seen people who will easily spend $100 or $200 a week on merchandise stuff and getting plushies and the pop little art stuff that people get. And I think that's very much so with the pop culture stuff, is merchandise buying is big money, and it will continue to be in the coming decades as games become more digitalized. You know, so it's really interesting to see that sort of thing. For me, I think the more merchandise you get, the less appreciation you have for what you currently own. You know, and you can easily look at that stuff behind you and go, oh, I wouldn't mind something a little more here and there. And I know people who have just boxes of just old merchandise stuff that they put in the closet or in the garage because they've ran out of space. And they may just buy something like a bundle or console or amiibos, and they never open the packages. They just put it up on the shelf and just look at it. And I don't know, I mean, I can understand that, but a lot of people, some of the excuses of these, you know, high-end collectors or collectaholics, well, it's a stock investment. They'll be worth more in the future. But I don't think so with a lot of things. I think amiibos won't be worth that much in the future because there's been so many made, about 30 or so million plus. Pokemon cards, some are expensive, but I wouldn't say that they're worth into the thousands, collections and that. It's a really tricky thing, I guess, because I don't think it's worth a huge value in getting so much stuff. And there was someone online saying, oh, there's the Vine Nintendo shoes that came out, and here in Australia they're $150 per pair, which is a massive amount of money. And I said, the price is pretty high. And he sort of replies, oh, well, you could just, keep them in the box and it'll be like an investment for the future. And I'm like, no, I don't think people buy $150 shoes just for them to put it away and not use them. I find that's not really much of a point. And, the whole collecting thing could be a much bigger thing. People just like to buy things because they like new shiny stuff. People like to do the whole go around and shop and buy things and take them out of the box and things like that. And but I don't see much of a point in it. And I persistently bought certain things that I would enjoy and like, and things that would look good in the background. Now I'm sort of reaching a point where I'm like, I'm happy with this now. I don't need to go off and start, buying lots and lots of stuff now. Everything's sort of self-contained and pretty good, because if I keep on buying things, you know, I'm going to be putting the old merchandise in boxes and putting them all around the place, and I'm going to look like a hoarder in the end. So that's sort of the feeling that I get. And, you know, some people will say, oh, but I enjoy what I do and things like that. And that's great. But, you know, I think that's that line where it becomes from collecting to almost an obsession, where you're spending money that you don't have. And basically just getting it because it's got the word Nintendo on it. It's kind of like Nike shoes, I guess. You know, if it's got that nice that name on it, or it's Pokemon, or it's Legend of Zelda, then people just sort of lose their minds and go, I need to buy it because it's got the name on it, or it's Link, or it's Pikachu, or it's a limited edition. It's got this, you know, key ring to it, or a badge or stickers, and it's just like, it's not really worth the extra $10 or $20. Well, it's not worth, you know, going crazy over it. So, but yeah, I guess I thought it was an interesting topic to talk about, something a little bit different. And I think we'll do a Ninja News show soonish about talking about the convention coming up. But it's been a really interesting few days for me, trying to streamline a few things too, thinking of moving Facebook activity from the group to the page, because I don't think the group is particularly working out. I think a page is more professional, and we're trying to streamline it into those three pillars, which is the YouTube page, the Facebook page, and the Twitter page, which Twitter doesn't do much, but it basically manages itself because it auto posts. And the YouTube channel is still the jewel in the crown in terms of views and subscribers, and that's always, you know, fairly healthy for what it is. And the Facebook page has only got 34, 35 likes, but that's still a work in progress. So, and thanks to those who have liked the page. So it'll be very interesting to see what will happen in the future. So, I've done enough talking. So I'm gonna call it quits for now, and I'll go back to relaxing for the night and seeing what news is out there, and we'll see how it all goes. So that's it from me, and I shall see you later on.